Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about how I'm illustrating a book solo for the first time rather than co-illustrating with my wife, like I have done in the past. Um, and also give you a little behind the scenes and backstory about our new book coming out in November called My Librarian Is a Spy, written by award-winning author Maya Gonzalez. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rold Tenorio. I am a registered psych nurse, also a illustrator, picture book illustrator. I've illustrated a book written by an award-winning author, Maya Gonzalez, alongside my wife, May Gonzalez Tenorio, and just trying to have a little side hustle and pursue my passion as an artist in picture book illustration, and dabble in a little bit of other art media as well. Let's go ahead and talk about our new book, My Librarian is a Spy. It was actually the first story that my sister-in-law had pitched out to us. This was, I can't even remember, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, this was the first story she pitched to us and that she kind of asked us to illustrate. And we kind of just sat together, just trying to think of how we can go about illustrating. We've never done it before. This was before our first book, The Elote Man Goes to College. So we had no idea how to approach it. We were kind of just brainstorming ideas of how we need to tackle it. So Maya, she's actually a librarian herself. So what a great idea it was to kind of have a picture book or a children's story about how your librarian could possibly be a spy. The Elote Man Goes to College, it's a lot different in comparison to My Librarian is a Spy. The Elote Man Goes to College is a very heartwarming story about a street vendor selling elote, works day in and day out to provide for his family and to make sure that his daughter does what she wants to do, which is she ends up going to college and pursues her dreams, whatever that may be, and eventually leads him to be able to go to college himself. But this one, My Librarian is a Spy, is a fun, imaginative book. Kind of points to the myth that your librarian might be a spy. What is she doing in that room full of books? Maya is the award-winning author here, great storyteller, great librarian too. And in this book, I illustrated it. Also, my wife still helped. She still formatted the book and, kind of edit it a little bit just to have it be ready to send out to our printers. Again, we're self-publishing this book just because we want to get the story out, and sometimes publishers want things done their own way, and we just feel like the fastest way for us to get our stories and our books out is just to self-publish it. It's a risk, but we're willing to take these risks just because this is what we're passionate about. We love to do this. I love to illustrate. Maya loves to write, and my wife loves to illustrate as well, and do a whole lot of other side hustles alongside illustration. But the whole reason why I want to go solo is because I want to do this as a career, and I know I have to build my own portfolio and showcase my own work rather than collaborative work. Collaborative work is great. I love working with my wife and all, and other artists. But this baby, it's good to be able to showcase what you're capable of doing on your own. My long-term goal isn't necessarily to work with a publishing company. It's just to be able to work with other people and just get their stories out and to kind of supplement their stories with some illustration that I believe that could elevate a story. The first thing that I worked on, was trying to design this character, this librarian. Yeah, so Maya, she had sent us a manuscript through Google Docs. The librarian doesn't have a specific name, but I knew I had to have like a distinctive character. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on to begin with. What could I work with librarians? The stereotype is an older lady with gray hair and glasses, working alone in the library. I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of an old stereotype. I didn't want to go along with that, so I just switched it up a bit and came up with this or this. Where am I at? With this? Yeah, I just wanted to keep it simple. I feel like my art style is forever developing. Again, like I knew I had to showcase some good portfolio work, which means I need to be consistent with my art style. So I try to keep it simple enough to where I'm not going to be burnt out or tired of doing any detailed work. So I just wanted to keep it simple and fun and imaginative. And I think a lot of picture book artists and picture book illustrations do a great job at that. Keeping it simple, but being able to supplement a good story. Thought about it from a kid's perspective, going to your school library, not knowing who this person is or what she does in this room full of books, kind of having no name and no other background to work with. It kind of worked out because this person should be a mystery since she could possibly be a spy. So my workflow with this was to sketch the pages, do the line work, do the flats, and then the shading, and then everything else after that. But to be honest, I worked on this book for a year, on and off. A lot of starting and stopping, just getting burnt out and other distractions, the things that I wanted to do. I do have a day job of working as a nurse, and it could be draining. Trying to be an illustrator is fun and all, but I gotta treat it as a job. And sometimes when you treat things as a job, it could be draining as well. So I knew how to do things on the side. Go work out, go train, go play some video games, get into something fun. So those were the distractions I've had. I wanted to treat this as an opportunity to make a career out of this. I didn't want to get burnt out from it, so I had to find ways to make it as fun as possible for myself. And for me, art, my favorite thing about art or drawing is just sketching. I grew up just practicing with a pencil and some paper, whatever paper I had lying around. The back of printing paper that my parents had, just doodle in the back and just tuck it away in a drawer and save it for later. That eventually would get thrown away. But I digress. Very loose drawings, ugly drawings that, coming from a blank piece of paper to just this crazy whirlwind of a sketch is really fun to me. It's my favorite part of drawing because there's no expectations. Nothing has to look pretty. It's just, scribbling on a piece of paper and kind of seeing something special in those scribbles is like magic to me. So after I had all those sketches out for each page, I just went from there. I had everything laid out. The sketches are my blueprint, and then just work with that. And it's kind of shut your brain off and then just do some line work and color. Not too much critical thinking, I feel like. A little bit, but not too much. One of the pages that I'm most proud about is a page that I had the least fun working on. Didn't think I would get something good out of it. It was the page where the librarian is tiptoeing through a field of lasers, I believe. So usually I try to think of some dynamic poses and composition for these pages, but for this book or for this page, I just couldn't really think of anything that I was too excited about. So I came up with the sketch, and I thought it was okay. But also it was something that I'm not familiar with. I don't normally draw a person sneaking around, tiptoeing over obstacles or lasers. But I think that's what made it good, is because I kind of dug a little deeper in my bag of tricks. But I didn't have any tricks in my bag for this particular page, so I kind of had to learn a little bit. I had to learn a little bit on expressing how a person sneaks around navigating over lasers. And I think that's what makes it so great, is because I learned something from it, and it looks great, I think. And even like the light reflection off the lasers, oh man, woo, really good. I love it. Usually I love like line work, keeping it just simple, like with black ink. But I see like other people using like sepia tones for like skin outlines, and I really like that. So I wanted to try that a little bit in this book. So I did that with the skin, the clothing, her hair. Not everything is black outlined as I like. I just wanted to try it out, and I really liked it. It was a lot more time consuming than I expected, but that's probably why it took a year. Just joking, but I think it turned out great. Just a quick tip for those of you who are getting into illustrations: Illustrate and CMYK. Don't use RGB. CMYK is used for printing. So a lot of printers. I haven't worked with a publishing company, but I'm sure they're gonna want you to have your illustrations, if they're digital, in CMYK. It just looks better. Don't ask me why. I'll go Google it and learn myself. But CMYK. So the upside of working with family is that we're extremely supportive of each other. We trust in each other's skills. Maya is a great writer. I think my wife is a great artist and illustrator herself, and I think I'm a pretty good artist and illustrator too. But the downside to that is that I think we can be too supportive. Maybe no one's gonna tell us we're doing something wrong. Everything is just great. Sometimes I feel like that. Maybe we're not too critical of each other's work, but to be honest, I think we're all adults, and we're able to take criticism from each other and from others. So I always try to touch base with Maya, or in the future for other writers that possibly want to work with me. I always want to touch base and make sure I'm serving the writer's story rather than my own. As far as this book, illustrations are done. Editing is nearly done. We're just doing some final edits. We kind of send out our pending copy out to family and friends. A lot of proofreading and final revisions just to get done so we can send out to our printer. We're just self-publishing this book. But if you're from Central California, Fresno County, Tulare County, Kings County, Madera County, you guys get first access to this, because this is where we're from, and we're here to share these stories with you, if you're from there. But also, we're going to put it online to be able to buy, and we can ship it out to most places across the U.S. I've never had to ship anything outside of the U.S., but we'll see. It's a learning process for us all. So the target release date is mid-November. Don't have a specific date just yet, but in November, you can expect My Librarian Is a Spy to be available to purchase for all that are interested. But I'm done illustrating this book. I'm working my day job right now. I'm all out of illustration work. So if you're interested in possibly hiring me as an illustrator for your picture book, please send me an email, and maybe we can work something out. I also have plans on being a writer illustrator as well. I'm not much of a writer, but I do love telling stories, mostly through art. Might as well dabble in a little bit of writing as well. But again, thank you for listening to me yap and showing some interest in what I love to do and what my family loves to do. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on this video. That means a great deal to us, and it means a great deal to me. But also, in my next video, I'll be talking about how much we made from The Elote Man Goes to College. I'll be giving you the numbers, how much we spent on it, how much we made, and pretty much how the process of how that book came about. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.